Listen, our topics this week really got the country talking. You know,
Clearly.
it really got people, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the conversations that get started because, yes, guys, there's important things to talk about in this country, but I think sometimes we forget that matters of the heart are as important. That's why you get people that end their own lives because of it. That's why, because they don't know where to go to figure out that it's not just me. These things happen. This is how to best deal with them. So it's always great when you can have people gather and become a choir for matters that we discuss here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a throw forward. So don't worry, everybody. There's still some current affairs that is coming your way. And of course, before that, we had a wonderful sports show, as you heard, quite riveting stuff around Royal AM a
Sure.
little bit earlier.
Yeah. No, listen. There's one because on Thursdays we then review what people have said about everything we've spoken about, and there's one that I want to touch on today, just one,
Okay.
because I think it was the best one of the lot. So on the question of what do you do when you're in the car and your ex calls and you can both see it and it's there, do you answer or not? And I wish I could remember your name who said this, but he said it's simple, guys. Crash the car.
No,
Arai.
no.
Thula koloi. Solve the problem very quickly. Thula
No,
koloi.
just don't answer. In my opinion, I keep telling you this. Don't answer. It's too much. It's too
No,
much to
thula
answer.
koloi, Faith.
It really
I'm
is too
understanding
much.
that. I'm 100% with that. But a lot more here. Hi, guys. This actually happened to me. And we had a huge fight because I refused to answer. And I said to him that I have no reason to answer. I don't want to talk to this person. To which later on, it kept coming up for years after to say, why didn't you answer? What are you hiding from me? And the next one here says, yeah, no, it sounds simple, but it's not. I want you to answer, and I want you to answer on speaker because I want to hear the tone to which he's talking to you on. And the one here says, please answer immediately and don't say you're with me.
Jeez. I think that you know what? I think that when we start answering the past, we're bringing way for a can of worms. We're opening Pandora's box, and we cannot afford to close Pandora's box once it's been opened. And therefore, I don't believe in answering. I believe it's let it ring, 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 ring a roses. It doesn't. Don't answer the thing because you won't be able to explain it later on. But I think that there's something with the previous one that actually brings rise to a different conversation around the holding of grudges. If you are going to make a mistake, which I think a lot of couples get into, if you are going to make a mistake or there's going to be a disagreement between the two of us, let's say that there's a disagreement between you and me regarding your ex that is phoning, and you bring it up in 5 years' time, which a lot of couples do. They bring up a lot, they hide and they harbor discontent and they harbor the resentment, and it builds up and it builds up. And then 5 years later, you and I having an argument about a cup of coffee, and then you say, yeah, but your ex who decided to call 5 years ago decided to do this. And I think that is a different conversation altogether that we, even as couples, we don't even talk about enough, about how resentment is held, and we don't deal with some of the content or the hurt feelings that we experience as couples. And later on in life, when you think that everything is okay, a person's going to bring it up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So harboring resentment between couples and harboring resentment when you believe that the issue has been salvaged. I think that is a conversation that in fact, it leads to divorces, because people harbor resentment. People don't deal with the emotional baggage. Sometimes people like being resentful or spiteful. People like the feeling of I have been harmed, I have been hurt, you hurt me, you did this to me. And sometimes people actually feed off that victim mentality. You have done this to me, you have done this to me, and it harbors and it festers, and we don't deal with it. And then 5 years later, we're watching TV, all of a sudden is 5 years ago your ex decided to call and then you didn't answer the phone, which means that you're still in love with them. Things like that.